Jeff's going to take over and make something fantastic. I think there's a couple of stools back there if you want. Any questions so far? No? Okay, well, I'm sure they'll come later. We're here to answer anything. Whoop. Go for it.
Test.
It's all yours.
It's all mine. Okay. So that's good, right? Now you know, just one phone call and you got your mix set up. Maybe. But he looks honest. Really, he looks honest.
Maintain transparency. Happy to talk about our sources.
Yeah, that was a great thing. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to do something today never done before. A hula. I've never made a product here that I've never made before. But because they were in my class, they said, do it. So we'll do it. We'll make something that we don't know. Two things, actually. We're going to start with mango. How many people live north of the Mason-Dixon line? Okay, so mango isn't real big there, is it? My mic working?
Yeah.
Okay. But for the southern people, mango, and you can probably do the same thing with pineapple, or I don't know what a papaya is, but maybe papaya or stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway, so keep your recipes on cards. It makes it really good. And laminate them. This one isn't laminated because this may be a bomb, and we'll just toss it, and that's okay. I've had plenty of bombs in my life. We're going to use, I guess, this machine, so it's half, right? He sort of just throws me out here, leaves me all alone. Okay, let's do this. This is a 12-quart machine, which is half of what I use is 24-quart machine. So normally this is my batch, 10 quarts, but we'll use a 5-quart batch for this machine, right? Okay.
That would be half, right?
That would be half. I would normally eyeball it, but you're all looking suspiciously. What did I say, 5 quarts? That's too much already. So we'll just use a little less. If you're not used to these machines, I would suggest you always put something under here, like a little insurance policy. So we'll put 5 quarts in. That's about right. Yesterday, we pureed mangoes. I went to a Hispanic market, and I always look up and down the aisles, and I was buying coconut for another project, and I saw mango slices in cans. So I stocked up on about 8 cans, and then I saw this mango paste. So I bought that too, and we threw it all in a blender, and it tasted okay. So this is it. This is a combination. This is pureed mango slices and mango paste. And that's on sugar, and a cup of sugar, right. We decided to add a cup of sugar. So that's it. So are you tired already? Come on now. All right, we'll make homemade ice cream. And here it goes. Oh, this is going to take forever to get in there. Hey, not bad. And that'll do it. Now we have about 12 minutes to discuss the events of the day. Any questions? All right. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Oh, good point. The cans were 15 ounces, and we used 8 cans. So, but we used half of that yesterday. So, ready? 8 times 15. We'll edit that out. 8 times 15 is 120, right? So 120 divided by 2, 60 ounces of mango puree.
Do you want this turned on?
Not yet. Let's get all this goop in there. Okay. All right, now we can do it. Ready?
Ready.
And
go for
it. What was your question?
What if the refrigeration was on, like say you turn it on like 15 minutes ago, and you poured the mix in? What would happen?
It would freeze up like a brick.
Oh boy, that's
you just don't do that. You put your product in, you turn on your dasher to start spinning. The refrigeration starts instantly.
What would happen in your plant if I turned the heat on the pasteurizer and then all of a sudden dumped in the milk?
Yeah,
you get scrambled eggs.
That's right.
So everything has its time and process. And the process here, I use these machines are bulletproof. I put the mix in everything I make and start it, and then I pour everything in to let the machine do my mixing. I used to do a lot of hand mixing, whisking and blending and stirring, and now I just let the machine do it. And of course, Steve doesn't agree with what I do, but I'll pour sugar right into the mix because it's spinning at 234 revolutions per minute.
It's sandpaper.
So don't you have some place to be?
I heard you say you were going to talk politics, so I came in to be the
So the
right-wing
machine
conservative.
actually does my mixing. And I'll put chocolate chips in, I'll put cookies in, I'll put candies in, and let the machine do the work for me. Because at 234 revolutions per minute, with such a tight fit between the blades and the cylinder, did they all get a look? They didn't get a look. When you open up the front, there's a cylinder, and then the dasher is the blades that spin around. Now, keep away from me.
He dropped one of the smallest ones,
these things,
the very smallest one on his front, and cried about it for 6 months.
These things scrape against the cylinder, which is getting colder by the second because it's wrapped in these pipes that make it cold. So when the milk is churning, when anything is churning, this is scraping it. But it's scraping it so fast, 234 times a minute, that it'll mix anything in there. So sugar is fine. Look, I've been doing this a long time, and the sugar is fine. I even do brown sugar, which is really coarse. but everything blends well. It really works perfectly. So here, what was your question?
It was about the refrigeration.
Oh, so everything has its time.
We've also wired it so that you can't accidentally turn. I mean, you can turn on the refrigeration switch and nothing will happen.
Until the motor's engaged, right?
Until the dasher's engaged, yeah, the latest machine. And Jeff was talking about the 234 revolutions, which, you know, people call up and say, well, what's the revolutions of another machine? It really doesn't matter. It's related to our machine only. But 13 years ago, I invented the infinite overrun control, which allows you to do anything that can be frozen, anything that's on the market today, anything that's going to come along. We're going to talk about dairy-free ice cream today, and that's a whole different animal. This machine can make it because the only difference in all these products is the weight of the product, how heavy the final product is. Gelato is heavy compared to homemade ice cream. Haagen-Dazs is heavier than homemade ice cream. Custard is the heaviest product on the market. And it's a simple idea that no one has copied in 13, 14 years now. But basically, people say, well, if I want to turn down the speed of the, you know, if I spin it less, do I have a whisk here? I'll show what I mean. Thanks. If I pour cream, the dairy mix, into here and stir it with a whisk, it's going to remain liquid. It's going to remain cream because I can't stir it fast enough. But if I use an electric mixer and put it in here, it'll turn into whipped cream. So we're doing just the opposite with the infinite overrun control. We're already at whipped cream, and now we're saying, well, we'd like to have super premium ice cream, or at about 65% overrun. So instead of this fast, it's going to be a little slower. If we're doing gelato, a little slower yet, and custard even slower. And the way we do it, besides telling you that it's magic, is if you had a light dimmer in your dining room and you dim down the lights from 100 watts to a romantic 25 for dinner, you're literally stealing the power away from the light bulbs. The light bulb is no longer 100 watts, it's now 25. If I did that with a motor here, and you've got a liquid going to semi-solid, this is getting thicker and heavier. That reduced power of the motor, if it's gone from 3 horsepower down to an 8 horsepower, it's going to lock up. So with my invention, the infinite overrun control, no matter what speed you run at, it's still a full 3 horsepower motor. So up here, we've put in with the new machines presets of what we know are the most popular products. So homemade, if I touch that, it's going to go to the full speed of the machine. If I go to something like gelato and touch it, it's going to go to, instead of 234 RPM, it's going to go to 140. And again, it has no bearing on other machines. It's just strictly for this machine what these speeds are. You can't say to Cappigiani, I want an RPM of 140. They would have no idea what you're talking about. It also has a manual so that the executive chef says, well, I don't want to run 40, I want to run 135. You can tap it down or you can tap it up, so you have total control of the machine. And that's the uniqueness of this, is with one machine, instead of now, it used to be just homemade ice cream and Italian ices or sorbet. Now it's everything that exists in the frozen dessert business.
What's like
These have been out now for 7 years. We've replaced one. And the one that we replaced, the guy slipped in his ice cream room and he smashed into it with something like a whisk. He was falling and he just bammed into it. So it didn't fail. Oh, it's unbelievable. They're even more reliable than our old ones, which were push buttons with a little screen. These have proven to be far more reliable. That's made by Panasonic for us.
Can you hook that up? Are you suggesting surge protection or anything else now because of the
Certain what?
surge protection or anything else?
Putting surge protection on a machine, it's not a bad idea always. Depends on where you are. Right now in Tampa, you're in the lightning capital of the world. We get more lightning strikes here than anywhere else on Earth. So we're used to having our power go out and everything else. And so when I hook up, I use a kill switch or a knife switch. At the end of the day, I can come over here and just pull that down. Now there's no power gain to the machine. Paula and I, when we come to work, we're the type of people who unplug their toaster in the morning. And we do it because we know the toaster is a good brand of toaster. I also know of an ice cream parlor that burned to the ground with a brand new blender in their store.
You still use a toaster? Nobody uses a toaster anymore.
How do you get toast?
You put it in the, what do you call it?
Oh, we don't have one of those.
No?
No.
A toaster. Bean can pop?
Yeah, well, we modified ours. It cooks toast in 4 seconds and pops at 30 feet up. So you can patch it in the air, spread the butter on, speeds things
Okay,
up.
everybody wants to know when it's ready. It's ready, in my opinion, visually, when it holds a peak. Steve, yours will be different, his is different, mine is different. It's all when you think it's ready. I like it to hold a peak when it falls out. After that, I don't like it. I don't like it really, what's the word?
Stiff.
Stiff. Okay, so we're ready. We're ready. That didn't take long at all. How long did that take?
I don't know. I can't read this thing.
8-9 minutes. That's
Probably about
it.
8 minutes.
Yeah.
You gonna turn off the refrigeration?
Not yet.
Okay.
Gonna wait till I'm sure we have what we want.
Now, we don't have timers on these machines for a very specific purpose. The higher the sugar content of a product, the longer the freeze time. So vanilla ice cream is going to be 8 minutes. Italian ice is going to be 16 minutes. Italian ice is all sugar and no dairy. Strawberry ice cream, not 8 minutes, maybe 9 minutes, maybe 10, because the strawberries bring fructose to the product. So we do not want a machine that shuts off all the time at 8 minutes. Voila, did you see how fast that came out?
Okay, it's ready.
Are they ready to come up?
Oh, you have to ask them that.
All right, well, come on up. We're going to serve you some ice cream.
Nothing like mango ice cream at 10 o'clock in the morning. Here's a spoon, Steve.
Ooh, okay. I'll get out of your way for the moment. Could you help him scoop for a second? So you can find a scoop.
Perfect, thank you, sir.
Scoop, Jeff? You wanted me to help you scoop.
Oh, okay.
Can we co-scoop?
Thank you.
Oh, you got the fancy one. Scoop from the can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Two of this one.
Oh, yeah. You got it, go ahead, you got it. Yeah, really. Thank you.
Morning.
Morning. I need two.
Yeah, right. Wink, wink.
Very free.
What is this? Is this the banana?
Mango.
Mango.
Mango. Bill?
Another.
Can you tell what we're making later on?
What?
Not yet. Oh, yeah.
The last ice cream we're making later on?
No, he never tells me.
Elvis, hunka hunka, burn 'em up.
Oh, that, yes. Just a half scoop for me, please.
I actually had that on my hamburger.
Yeah, you can give that to him. He wants it.
I'm starting to freeze to this banana.
Ah, sounds awful.
Thank you. You're welcome.
The ice cream should taste better though.
I think so.
Mechanically defective.
I'm actually doing fine without you.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Nothing. But you might want to attend my scoop school.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Thank you.
Okay, we're done.
Come on, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you.
Remember, it's delicious.
Wasn't that a little
What's wrong with that?
guy brought his?
What?
Yes. I know. It's unbelievable.
Myself for the whole day.
Gee.
Can't forget the camera back.
What? No. I wouldn't dare.
For 1 gallon, 4 quarts of liquid mix, add 2.7.
Let me try some of this deliciousness.
Oh,
2.85 quarts of
how
water.
about,
We'll share.
really?
Share the wealth, yeah.
Okay.